Hey guys, it's Derek here with Papavilletrains, and it's showtime! That's right. All right, I'm doing my very first train show. It's the Great Midwest Train Show at the DuPage County Fairgrounds in Wheaton, Illinois. So wish me luck, and we're going to take you along, show you a little bit of tidbits, and then we'll wrap it up at the end of the day. All right, so here I am. I'm getting loaded up, or I'm loading all my stuff. Bumping into a lot of cool people that I know, which is kind of neat. And I'm making my third trip in, actually my third trip back to the car to get more stuff. All right, the table's all set up. Everything's out there for everybody to come and take a look at. And the doors are open and the people are starting to head on in. All right, guys, so train show's over. Boy, I met some wonderful people. I actually did pretty good, much better than I expect as far as my sales went. Video-wise, I did make a major mistake, and I am going to do the show again next month, and then I don't know about after that. But next month, one of the things I forgot to show you was my setting up and my tearing down. Setting up took me about an hour. And but the teardown went a lot quicker because fortunately I sold some stuff and had less to put away. So let's talk about the show. Okay, so first off, getting there. When I arrived, you got to check in at the office. I took it off, but you get your little badge sticker thing that shows you're a vendor. Went and found my tables. Took me 3 trips from my truck out to the table to get all my stuff over there, and about an hour to get everything set up. It went pretty good. I had 2 full tables, and they were jam-packed. I had stuff underneath the tables and everything. As you'll see in the videos, I haven't edited this yet, so I might have already showed you the videos. I'm not sure how I'm actually going to do this one, but like I say, I met some great people. Stu, Ethan, and his girlfriend. There's one guy that I'm going to tell you about in a little bit. Who else? Ken bought my little beacon towers. Who else was there? I don't know why I'm blanking, but it's kind of interesting that as you sit and you get people and like, hey, I see you. There was one guy that specifically came over and waited a few minutes while I was taking care of somebody just because he wanted to meet me. One guy I want to really, really give a shout out to was Steve Mazer. Steve came with his daughter and his grandson, and I think it was his other daughter. I can't remember both of the. My memory's not as good. It was a hectic day. But he did something that really, really made my day. Was he brought me a gift, which I'm going to open this up here in a little bit and show you what it is. I am so appreciative of that. He and even later came back and said, "Hey, I forgot. I want to get a picture with you." So I guess I'm a Z level celebrity if somebody wants their picture with me now. But I really appreciate it. So we're going to take a look at what Steve got for me. He knows what my favorite engine happens to be. So he came over and he said, hey, I got something for you. I'm just opening it up now. He told me what it is, but I'm just opening it up now. And he said, hey, it's rough, and I said, well, I love rough. So, and like I say, for those of you that know me and watch my videos, can you guess what this might be? I think you can. So let's take a look at it. You wrapped it up pretty good. So the neat part about the sale is a lot of the stuff that I didn't think was going to sold, and a lot of the stuff I thought for sure was going to sell didn't sell. So that's the nature of it. So what we have here, wow, he really did a nice job of wrapping this up. We have a Commodore Vanderbilt. And yeah, he wasn't kidding when he said this one's rough, but it's got all the bones. It's then just giving it a quick glance over, it's really only missing one piece, and that's the smokestack piece that goes on there. But other than that, but boy, look at this guy. Oh man, is this... I could get my dog down here and say, what do you think of this dog? And he'd say, rough, rough. You know, I wonder if at one time maybe somebody tried to paint this. So I'm missing the screws there. That's not a problem at all. I got plenty of those. That they need to use zip ties on there. And so the motor is in there loose. But it turns. It has the light bracket. A lot of times that's missing. The visor is actually in really nice condition. It's not all dented up. It's got the other two, the sand covers. Yeah, I like, oh, this one's going to be a fun rebuild. Just look at that. Look at how rough that is. That's the way I like him. Okay, let's pop that motor out of here. The motor is, just by glancing at it, doesn't look too bad. You know what? Let's real quickly, let's take this over and we'll throw it on the bench and see what we can get, if it's got any life. All right, so we're over at the bench and I got my transformer on. But one of the things I'm noticing is because I want to hook up the ground to the frame here, and this is really, really, really rough here. So let's find something that we can clean that up. You know what? I'm going to use a little piece of a file here. Let's see if we can get a... I just want to get some bare metal showing there instead of that rusty stuff, so we can get a good ground on it. There we go. What do you think? Do you think that's going to work for me? I think so. And well, it almost looks like there's paint on that. You know what? Let's got to take a second, guys. Bear with me. I'm going to do something that I do quite often to give stuff a quick cleanup. As I grab one of my handy dandy favorite tools to use. I gotta shut a light off here because I need this plug. Sorry about the off-camera crap here, but the old Dremel. So I'm just gonna give that a little bit of a quick clean. And then while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and get that rust off of there with the Dremel, clean that up a little bit better so I've got a good grounding point. Okay, so all right, now let's put it on top of here. Keep it on something soft. Okay, let's get our fingers crossed. Which is the side that I did? This side over here. So now one of the things you want to remember with the mark stuff, don't crank up you only want to run about 12 volts into these old Marks motors. And oh, look at that. Look at that. Hey, Steve, you gave me a running engine. Thanks, buddy. It's a little noisy, but that'll get cleaned up. But yeah, woo! You can smell it. You can smell that this thing hasn't been run a long time. And now I didn't clean the brushes or anything like that. You know what? Why don't we do that real fast while you guys are watching? I'm going to show you how simple it is. I'm sure I've showed you this before a number of times, but how easy it is to clean the armatures on these. So you have the small little brushes that are here and here, and there's just that spring, and there's a little wire that holds them down. So the easiest way to do this is just I use a straight pin. I just lift it up a little bit and move it over to the side like that. We'll do that with this other one. And move it over to the side, and then let's see if we can. There's brush number one. And sometimes you can just turn them over and get the brushes out real easy. Sometimes they're real hard to get out. These came out pretty easy. And then we will just take a Q-tip, and I will give it a little dip in some rubbing alcohol here. And you just put it right inside there. and give the engine a couple of turns. Look at that. Look at all the dirt in there. Let's get to this one again. Oh, I didn't get it in there far enough. There we go. Yeah, that's a dirty one. Well, let's do the other one. Look at all that muck and dirt in there. All that carbon buildup. Okay. See, we got it all that. See how nicely, quickly you can clean that stuff off of there? Yeah, I know. What are these wheels like? I mean, I will give this a much, much better cleaning later. And then you can do it this way. I usually just put a little bit of alcohol on my hand, drop those brushes in there. See all that dirt that's coming off? That's just off the brushes. Look at that. And then obviously, once your hand's dry, make sure you wash it. And we'll just kind of give these. Now, when you put these brushes back in, they have, I don't know if you can see this on the camera or not. See that little slot? So that slot goes, come on, focus. There we go. So that slot is going to be up. And you're going to want to, when you put it back in there, you want that slot to line up with that little wire that's on the spring. And then you just lift that wire back up with your pin and slide it over. And that brush is installed. I'm going to put the other one in there. Like we say, you do this. It's also good to wipe the, see now I just wiped that. That's off the bottom just to clean the bottom off. So we put it in there, drop it in there. I'm going to turn it so the wire will line up. Come on. A little more. And then you lift that spring pin over. And look at that. We just did a simple service. That's how quick it is. That's why I love these Marks engines. That's how quick it is to take care of those guys. So now we will put a little bit of oil. Now, these older Mark stuff, I use, this is actually some 30 weight engine oil because they didn't have like this fine machine oil way back in the day. So I'll use that and it seems to work a million times better. I'll drop in there on each of the wheels and then I'll put a little tiny drop, very small, on that little, it's a little piece of felt that's around that. And then if you want, you can put just a tiny drop on the gear on the other side. But now, don't put a lot on there because you're going to, with the gears, you always want to use grease. And I think I have a tiny bit left in this tube. I do have to get some more. I'm running out. I'm going to put that on there like so. That nice good white grease. Get in there. Put a little bit on the wheel. And well, I don't want to use that. I want to use a clean one. Yeah. Dab that around there. And then we're going to give it a few turns. And now we're going to hook it back up to power. And let's see if it's running a lot smoother now. Put that away. Okay, so there's a nice spot I cleaned for the ground. And come on now. Yeah, it's running nicer. It's still kind of noisy. Like I say, when I take it apart and give it a good cleaning, but it is running a lot smoother. So there we go. So Steve, you gave me one, and we already got her running a lot smoother. I wonder. Um, I wonder if that's still good in there. Well, this particular wire is pretty bad, and I got to get the screws. I was going to slap it all back together and throw it on the track, but I am not going to do that right now because, like I say, they actually it's a twisty tie that's holding that centerpiece on. That's you definitely want to use screws for that. But yeah, look at that. I mean, that is. I can't tell if this was repainted or if this is just that old and musty. But what's nice, these handrails are still nice and straight. That's really good. And that visor, look at no deformity in that visor at all. That's a really nice. And I actually have. Oh, I'm pretty sure I have. Do I have one? Yep, right there. That's the piece that goes right there. And I do have the little red pieces that go in there. So this baby will get sandblasted and a whole new coat of paint. Who knows what colors I'll go with? And and I think I might even, when I put the tag on there, make this the S&M lines for Steve Mazer. What do you think? Okay, guys, let's get back over to the table. All right, so we're back over at the table, and like I say, hey, Brand, how about that? That's going to be a fun restoration on that. I'm looking forward to doing that one. And Steve, again, thank you very much for that training. I really, really appreciate it. You mentioned you had one that you wanted to have a repaint. I'm going to send you an email, and we can make some arrangements. Like I say, I'll sandblast that one for you. No problem. What the heck was that? Oh, I don't know, a little tiny little washer, but I don't think that's off of the train. I'll put this here so I don't lose it. And so in the beginning, I was saying didn't know if I was going to have the video before or after of some of the stuff at the show. We're going to show that to you now. All right, so here's some of the great people that I met at the show. Here we have Ethan and his girlfriend. Ethan was a great guy. He got himself a nice Metro locomotive. Steve Mazer, he's the guy that gave me the wonderful gift. And we have Ken. Ken came with his wife, and he's getting ready to start his layout. All right, so like it was a time lapse of just a lot of people checking out the table and some shots of my table and a quick of around the room. The turnout on the show, it was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. Next month's show, the November show, in talking to other vendors, there is always their busiest, their best show. Everybody, it's by that time you're done with all your end of the year yard work. You've got time to get outside and do what you got to do. So and also it was all the pictures, a lot of the wonderful subscribers that I met, which I really get a kick out of that. There's something that's so cool when people are coming up and they tell you how they appreciate your videos. And, you know, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys as my subscribers. You know, and if you're not subscribed, you know, hit that button, you know, and as they say, smash that button. You know, I always say, hey, like, subscribe, and share. Share those videos with your friends. Not sure what my next video is going to be. I actually don't have anything that I've purchased recently. So I think I'm going to start showing you guys. So I'm going to start restoring a couple of these Vanderbilts. I know I've done a lot of restoration on Vanderbilts. Although I do have, where is it? It's over here. I do have this Canadian Pacific that I've been staring at and thinking, hey, let's do something fun with that. So maybe that'll be the next video. We'll see. In my next show, I'm going to I had a lot of people looking at some of the O-Gauge American Flyer, the few O-Gauge American Flyer items that I did buy or bring with me. So I think I'm going to be bringing some more of that stuff. My wife was talking to me and she's like, you know, you have so much more stuff down there. And, you know, I mean, the way I look at it, a lot of people just want to keep all their stuff. And I was like that until I actually did this train show. And there's something neat about, you know, sure, I make a couple of bucks off of some of this stuff. I did price everything to sell. But knowing that it's going to a new home, and instead of it just sitting up on my shelves, I mean, I've got, I won't get rid of it, but I have my 2353 with the 2500 series. I haven't run that thing in 6 or 7, 8 months. You know, I've got a Marks 994 that's a kind of a custom one over there. I haven't run that in like forever. I've got a Lionel 259E that I don't think I've run that in maybe a year or so. I've got a couple of Alcos over there, the Union Pacific Alcos. I haven't run those. So yeah, I think I'm going to start rotating the stock, so to speak. So I guess that wraps up this video. Again, for all you guys that came out and you know, said hi, thank you again. I appreciate it so much. And for those of you that haven't come out to the Wheaton show, come on out there. It's a pretty good show. There were they say that they have 300 tables. I didn't make it into the other two buildings, 2 and 3. There was a lot of guys outside. It was a gorgeous day, perfect day to have your stuff outside. And but it looked like there was maybe 90% of the vendors were there. You know, correct me if I'm wrong if you were there. I didn't get a chance to really walk around, but they usually say November sells out. So, you know, look for me at the November show. And as always, guys, I'm kind of repeating myself over and over. Thank you, but thank you. Hey guys, I'm not sure what happened, but as I was going and editing this video, right after I said thank you to everybody, it suddenly cut off. And I forgot to do something. A choo-choo! We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching my Papa's videos.